It is the News Blitz with Randy Wang on Talk Radio 790 KABC. We're here every single day from 5 to 6 talking about the local issues that matter to you most and taking your phone calls at 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. Your emails as well at randykabc@gmail.com. That's randykabc@gmail.com. Yesterday, Nathan Hochman, the man who is running against this guy.
It's horrifying.
This guy.
Google on YouTube.
This guy.
Quite frankly.
This guy.
Right.
This guy.
We got some wobbly knees allies.
This guy.
You can come up with data to support almost any argument.
And this guy.
Whoa.
Made some huge news on the Fox 11 News at 6 with our buddies Alex Michelson and Marla Tejas. Hey, Marla. Nathan Hochman announced who he would be endorsing in the 2024 presidential race, and let's just say this got a lot of attention.
Presidential race 83 days out. We're joined by Nathan Hochman, who is running for LA County District Attorney as an independent. In the past, you ran for California Attorney General as a Republican. We know Kamala Harris was the District Attorney as a Democrat. We know Kamala Harris in the past has endorsed George Gascon for various offices, who you're running against. So make some news for us. Who are you endorsing in the presidential race?
Make some news for us. Alex Michelson is fantastic, but you know what he loves? He loves stirring the pot.
So I will be endorsing Kamala Harris in the presidential race. I didn't vote for Donald Trump in 2016, 2020. I won't be voting for him in 2024. I'll be voting and supporting Kamala Harris. I actually announced when President Biden was the nominee that I was going to support him. But, you know, my whole point of this race is to take politics out of the DA's office. And though I'm happy to answer this question about the presidential politics, my goal is to go back to what DAs used to do. They used to just look at the facts and the law, but George Gascon has introduced his far-left, extreme, pro-criminal political ideology to make criminal justice decisions. And that is actually what's been wrong with the DA's office in Los Angeles.
Marla Tejas then asked, so why is it that you're endorsing Harris? Does that have something to do with her being a prosecutor?
Go ahead.
Well, my follow-up is, you want to take politics out of the DA's office. Your big announcement tonight is that you're throwing your support behind Kamala Harris. As mentioned, she was the Attorney General as a Democrat. She was the District Attorney as a Democrat in San Francisco. What is it about her specifically in her record that you like, and what would you do differently as DA?
So I've always voted the person over the party. In fact, my background is 20 years a Democrat, 20 years a centrist Republican, and now I'm an independent running for a nonpartisan position.
He experimented with all sides.
And now I'm an independent running for a nonpartisan position where party affiliation won't even be on the ballot. And so if I had to choose in this race between a former prosecutor and a convicted felon, I'm going to choose the former prosecutor because that's the job I'm seeking. I'm seeking to be a prosecutor, the DA, the person who will be in charge of 750 deputy district attorneys doing 180,000 criminal cases every year in this county. So in that choice, I will choose the former prosecutor.
So that interview happened at 6 o'clock last night, and it immediately lit on fire on the internet. There was a lot of comments. There was a lot of outrage, a lot of pissed off people that were supporting Nathan Hochman. But at the same time, this is a binary race. In 80 or so days, you have to choose between Nathan Hochman and this guy.
So we're mindful of all these things, but
so with that in mind, I want to hear from you at 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. Residents of Los Angeles County, will you be voting for Nathan Hochman in the 2024 election? 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. In light of the news yesterday, does Nathan Hochman still have your support for DA? 800-222-KABC. Are you going to vote for this guy?
quite frankly,
800-222-KABC. I want to hear from you. Get your opinion out there. I want to hear how you're feeling about this. This is the most important election in Los Angeles County. Let's go to Vince in Fontana. Vince, hello.
How you doing, buddy?
Doing great.
This business with Mr. Hochman, I'm sorry, but I don't trust him. I find it a little bit strange now. He's trying to put his support behind Kamala Harris, maybe just to get votes. Well, my question is, where the heck happened to all the honor? I know politics is a different animal, but there has to still be some honor in in being yourself and being honest about who you are. And I don't trust this guy. In my honest opinion, I don't know if I want to vote for him or if I'll vote for Gascon, because in all honesty, Gascon, at least you know what he is. This guy Hochman, I don't know. Makes it a little bit difficult now. He can't be trusted at this point. That's all I got to say.
So you're undecided. You're not sure what you're going to do.
Yeah, at this point, sometimes it's a bet the devil you know is better than the devil you don't know.
Well, I appreciate your opinion, Vince. Thanks so much for the call. Appreciate it. Just remember, and you know what? That's a totally valid opinion. That's a totally valid way to think about this. This is the devil we do know.
Do a Google on YouTube.
I'm going to have to make a lot more room for a lot more drops if we get 4 more years of that guy. All right, the phones are blowing up already. I knew this would happen. It's one of those days where this is the story of the day. I want to hear from you. Are you in for Hochman still? 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. Let's go to Armando in L.A. Armando, hello.
Randy, how have you been, man? I appreciate you answering this call. Let me tell you.
I'm always glad to have you on the phone, Armando.
Yeah. Hey, you're a great guy, too, and I love what you're doing. I think you have a lot of success in the radio biz. Yeah, I'm going with Hochman because I was sold listening to your other program. Who's the guy? What's his name? John. And he sold us on Hochman because Gascon is a sleazebag. So that's why I did it, because John was such a good, convincer of why we should go, to Hochman. And I agreed. That's all I could say. What else is there? Who needs Gascon? You need a change. You have to pick the lesser of the evil, right?
That's how most of these elections bottle down to. Rarely do you get to vote for the person who aligns with you 100%, that you 100% believe in. It is a binary choice. It's either Hochman, who understandably pissed off a lot of people yesterday, or Gascon, who arguably pisses off people every single day.
Quite frankly.
Absolutely.
Thanks for the call, Armando. Appreciate it. Always love hearing from him. 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. I want to hear your concerns. I want to hear what you're thinking. The election is in less than 3 months. Are you still supporting Nathan Hochman for DA? Let's go to Angie in Burbank. Angie, hello.
Hi, Randy. I wanted to call in because I remember, actually, I was going to call in earlier today. I was listening to you and John. So just so that you know how upset I think people are, I've got an entire family who is voting for Trump. We were going to vote for Hochman. We originally supported Hatami, but now my entire family is going to leave it blank like John suggested earlier.
So you want to leave it blank, and then if Gascon gets in for 4 more years, well, that's what Hochman deserves?
You know what? Honestly, I don't care. I'm tired as a Trump supporter. I'm tired of being vilified. See, if he would have kept his mouth shut and not said anything, I didn't vote for him originally because he seemed a little suspect to me. So I did put my support behind Hatami. But this really clears it up for me. I don't trust this guy. I don't trust him. And you know what? It is what it is.
Well, there you go. It looks like he lost 5 votes. Thanks so much for the call, Angie. Appreciate it. Katie Porter, you know something about 5 votes, don't you? I got 5 votes. Any excuse to play that one. 800-222-KABC is the phone number. Let's go to Tim in Westwood. Tim, hello.
Hey, Randy. What's up, man?
Doing great.
I'm actually a first-time caller ever on the radio, so I appreciate you guys taking my call. Love your program, but just getting to this question, honestly, I was just like your last caller. I preferred Hatami, but I was all in for Hochman. But he just seems like another two-faced person. He can't sit there and tell us that he's going to fight crime, undo everything of Gascon, and then say that I'm supporting Kamala Harris when she's endorsing Gascon. They're one of the same. And he should have just kept his mouth shut. If he wants to play politics, you don't try to pander to the hard left and all these Democrats and then expect people that tend to lean right and are Republicans to just vote for you because the alternative is Gascon. So even though if I'm not going to vote for him anymore, if it's going to bring Gascon back into play, then you know what? This is what we deserve in L.A. because as a society, this is what we're doing, so we deserve everything that's coming towards us. So,
oh, wow. Well, Tim, I totally understand where you're coming from. I do want to clarify one thing. She did endorse Gascon in 2020. She has not endorsed him in this current race. That would be political suicide, considering how unpopular Gascon is.
Sure, and I respect that, but what does that say about somebody? You already endorsed him, so she's not endorsing him because she's a coward. Because that's where your allegiance lies. You're just too scared to do it because he's toxic. But again, these are two-faced, corrupt, maybe not corrupt, but just two-faced, no backbone having, no principle having politicians, and that's why we're in such bad shape in LA and in California because of people like Kamala Harris and because of people like this guy, Nathan Hochman. He sits there saying that I'm going to undo everything. I'm going to fight for all the victims and blah, blah, blah. But, hey, I'm endorsing the lady that created Gascon back in San Francisco. Like, I'm not a fool. I don't want to get my hands dirty voting for people like this. So I'll just keep living with this pathetic society that we have in LA that's just going down the drain day by day. But guess what? We deserve this because the majority of us are voting for this, even though it's not me. But maybe this is going to get us to the point of no return where people wake up finally.
Well, there you go. Tim, how was your first time calling into the radio? Did you have fun?
I'm sorry for blabbing away, man. But I appreciate you guys, and you're doing wonderful things, and congrats on your new show. I listened to you guys with, John Phillips during the day during my lunch break, and driving home, and just heard you guys talking about it, and I called, and you guys got me on the air, so that's pretty cool, man. I appreciate you.
So glad to have you call back anytime. That's how we do it here. The voice of the people. 800-222-KABC is the phone number. Let's go to Maria in Pacific Palisades. Maria, hello.
Hey, Randy, thank you so much for taking my call. Hey, Randy, we got to vote for Hochman. I mean, come on, we got to get Gascon out of there. Leaving it blank, come on. We're going to have more of Gascon. We have hit rock bottom. There's nobody worse than Gascon. Nobody. There's nobody worse. You go to the beach, you go in the water, you come out, all your stuff is gone. Your towel, everything's gone. You go to the beach, just a couple of beaches south, Manhattan Beach, Redondo, Hermosa. They don't have that problem. There's a definite criminality problem in Los Angeles, and it touches everything we do. You can't even go to the beach and go swimming in the water without your stuff getting stolen. Nobody is worse than Gascon. We got to vote him out of there. Okay, so Hochman shouldn't have said that about Harris, but he did. Oh, well. I just think nobody can be worse than Gascon.
I think you make a very valid point, Maria. Thank you so much for the call. Appreciate it. We're split pretty much 50-50 among here, but this is a great debate. Let's keep it going here. Let's go to Mario in Culver City. Mario, hello.
Hello there. I'm a Trump supporter, and I'm totally furious with Nathan Hochman. I did not vote for him in the primary. I voted for Hatami, but I will vote for Hochman again because I think George Gascon is a criminal, but I believe that Nathan Hochman will be a one-term DA because of his decision. I did listen to you and John this afternoon, and I agree with John 100%. I think that he did himself in by endorsing Kamala Harris. He should have kept his mouth shut. He's trying to appease the Dems because he thinks, California is mainly Dem. He's making the same mistake Rick Caruso did. Rick Caruso would be our mayor if he would have stayed Republican. Because he decided to go Dem, he lost the race. And that's my opinion.
Well, that is a very fair point. I would say the big difference between those two races is Rick Caruso is running against Karen Bass, who is pretty popular no matter what. Hochman's running against the most unpopular candidate for countywide office we've ever seen.
True, and we need to get him out. I'm 68 years old, lifelong LA resident, and I hate living here, so we desperately need change. So I will be voting for him. I do not like him. And he will.
You know what? That's totally valid. You don't have to like the people you vote for. That's a great point. Mario, thanks so much for the call. Appreciate it. You know, I don't like living in LA County either. But until I can make a whole bunch of money and move to Carmel, this is where I'm going to be. Or Santa Fe. I haven't decided. Let's go to Mark in Tahunga. Mark, hello.
Hi. Can you imagine what his campaign staff is doing right now? They are panicking. He should. I agree with the previous caller. He should not have said that. What he should have said is, "That's none of your business. That's personal to me. This is not a federal campaign. I'm not running as a Republican or Democrat. I'm running as an objective district attorney, and that's what Los Angeles needs." I do see his strategy, because it is California and everyone seems to be allergic to common sense Republicans in California. So he's probably thinking that, you know, the Republicans may be pissed off about that, but they're smart enough to know that they need to vote community here and not vote for the candidate. And listening to everything that he said, he makes a lot of sense. He sounds spot on, and he's going to do it. He should not have said anything.
Now, what do you think of the point that maybe this, like you said, it was a strategy, and that if he doesn't come out and say this specifically, the Gascon campaign and his supporters would try to tie him to Trump, nationalize this election, which would make his chances even worse?
Well, that's why he should have said, "This is not a national election, people. Stop shooting yourself in the foot. Cutting your nose off to spite your face," as my grandma used to say to me, and vote for the betterment of Los Angeles and California. We are in crisis. We are in crisis. I was a lifelong Democrat. I jumped ship a few years ago just because I couldn't stand anybody in the party anymore. And I'll tell you, I was, petrified when Trump got elected. But you know what? We made it through 4 years, and we didn't start the decline, into the quagmire that we're doing right now. We have to turn California. It's got to go center right, or we're screwed.
Well, there you go, Mark. Thank you so much for the call. Appreciate it. 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. Are you still supporting Nathan Hochman for DA? Let's go to Kevin in Upland. Kevin, hello.
Hey, good afternoon. Hey, I'm voting for Kamala Harris and Nathan Hochman, and I'll explain why. As far as Trump and Harris goes, Trump has way too many issues, and the biggest issue of all that Trump supporters continue to ignore is him trying to take the election from us in 2021 on January 6th. We won, period. And he tried to take it. He had his nut jobs invade the Capitol. That was ridiculous. It's a criminal act. A lot of people went to jail for it, as they should have. It's just wrong what he did. It's just an example of character. That aside, Kamala Harris is a prosecutor. She's put a lot of people in jail. She's not perfect. Nobody's perfect. We all have issues. But between the two of them, as far as I'm concerned, she's a much better choice. They talk about the Trump and the economy with Trump. Trump spent $8.5 trillion with a P in 4 years. What he did basically was he had a nice big barbecue for your neighborhood on your great-grandkid's Visa card. Nobody there attending the barbecue. Nobody's there enjoying the economy has to pay for what he did. He printed and spent $8.5 trillion. Never been done before. Not even close. That's the economic issue, number one, that we need to focus on. He bankrupted his father's business how many times, and now he's bankrupted the country. We will never get past that. And on top of that, he cut taxes for the multi-zillionaires by $3 trillion, and they spent 80% of that reinvesting in their own stock. That was bad for the working class. That was horrible, horrible economics. At any rate, as far as the DA race in L.A. goes, Gascon's an idiot. His viewpoints are way, way too far to the left. Way too far. It's a binary choice. Hochman's the better choice. If you don't vote for him, you're crazy. You get the idiot back. We have to dispatch Gascon. He is. I'm not going to sit here and talk about his character. I don't know how he fell down and bumped his head to coddle these criminals. I don't want to coddle criminals. I want to throw them in jail. I want to put them all in jail like Kamala Harris did. This is crazy. If you're a Trump supporter and you live in the city of Los Angeles, you'd be real smart, or in the county, whatever, you'd be real smart to vote for Nathan Hochman. We cannot afford to have this Gascon idiot in there anymore. It's just, we all agree he's bad. But
well, there you go, Kevin. Thank you so much for the call. I appreciate it. See, even people that are voting for Harris hate Gascon. That should be fun.
Quite frankly.
800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. All opinions are welcome here. We are trying to make sure that we have the best LA County possible, and that includes everybody that lives in LA County. So, are you still supporting Nathan Hochman for DA after he endorsed Kamala Harris for president? Excuse me. She's already vice president. 800-222-KABC. Nothing but your phone calls the rest of the show. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on KABC. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on KABC. We're going to go back to the phones at 800-222-KABC. Are you still supporting Nathan Hochman for DA? But first, 790 KABC welcomes Danny Elfman to the Hollywood Bowl on November 2nd. Tickets are on sale Friday at Ticketmaster.com. But right now, call in number 9 at 1-888-790-5222. Gets a pair of tickets to the show. Tickets furnished by Live Nation. Good luck dialing. If you're on hold, we're going to get to you right after the break. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on KABC. It is the News Blitz with Randy Wang on Talk Radio 790 KABC. We're here every single day from 5 to 6 talking about the local issues that matter to you most and taking your phone calls at 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. We take your emails as well at randykabc@gmail.com. That's randykabc@gmail.com. The lines are jammed. I'm going to try to get to everyone who's on hold, so I appreciate you holding. Let's go right back to the phones. Do you think are you still voting for Nathan Hochman in November? Let's go to Carl in San Gabriel. Carl, hello.
Hey, how you doing, Randy? Love the show, and I learn a lot from you. I'm definitely a Nathan Hochman voter because he's just a smart man. You have to accept the fact that we're in California and there are so many Democrats. You can't sit there and support Trump here and try to get to that mass votership that you need to get to. But any vote for Kamala is definitely a vote for the change of our system. But Nathan Hochman, I think, can work within this system and just be more aggressive on the criminals. And he wants to do it. He's been known to do that. And he's only a small part of what we need to change in this state. And Nathan Hochman will be able to change L.A. for the better. I can see that because you can't get any worse than Gascon. That's what I wanted to say.
If this isn't rock bottom, what is?
Quite frankly.
Exactly. I appreciate it, Randy. Thank you.
Thanks so much for the call, Carl. Appreciate it. Let's go to Silvana in Burbank. Silvana, hello.
Hi. First time I call your show. I love your show, and I would never call in a show. I was driving home as I listen to you every day until I heard what you just said, that he endorsed Kamala Harris. I have people that work in that district attorney's office, and I've been in California 40 years and a resident of Burbank, and I am absolutely disgusted by what he said. He should have kept his mouth shut and not said anything about Trump or Harris. And the fact that he called him a felon and that he's going for a prosecutor that is a failed prosecutor, that did not win him any points. Just because she's a prosecutor doesn't make her good. She's been worthless as a VP. She brought in millions and millions of illegals, that majority of them are criminals that we know in every state they've committed heinous crimes, including attacking law enforcement. So for him to endorse someone like her just because of the fact she was a prosecutor, and a failed one at that, is disgusting. He should have never said that. I was going to vote for him, and I will not now. I will leave it blank and risk that idiot. Hopefully we can recall him. He's worthless. He's damaged and destroyed California, and I'm absolutely disgusted with Gascon. But the fact that he called Trump a felon with all these trumped-up charges, and I just don't trust this guy. That means he's going to be profiling Trump supporters. He should never have been political about it. That's it. He really messed up by saying that. On the one hand, he says, I'm not political. On the other hand, he made it loud and clear he's supporting a failed VP that did nothing in the last 3.5 years. And all of a sudden, because of her title as a prosecutor, she put more black people in prison than any other prosecutor in California, including innocent ones, until the Supreme Court forced her to release that one innocent man. Those are facts they can Google. I can't believe a prosecutor would say something like that, knowing her record. So, personally, I'm not voting for him anymore. And I'm absolutely
totally understand where you're coming from. Silvana, I understand, this is a really emotional time. I understand that this kind of thing can make you angry, but just remember, you're driving home to Burbank, and that's something to always appreciate because Burbank's awesome.
I know it is. I've been here 40 years, and I love our law enforcement and city services, and I really, truly appreciate it. And I wish all cities in California regain that type of control. God help us. I hope Gascon doesn't win, but, I'm very disappointed by what he just said. I wish he never said that. So thank you.
Totally understand. Thanks so much for the call, Silvana. Appreciate it. A couple of first-time callers. All right. I don't know how this is going to go, but we're going to try. Wayman, just get your finger on the dump button just in case. Steve in Tarzana. Steve, hello.
Hi. Yeah, I used to be a fan of Obama and Biden until I found out that they were communists. Anyway, I have a song about Kamala, real quick one here, less than a minute and a half. Kamala.
All right. Is it clean?
What? Yeah, it's clean. No swear words, nothing. Kamala.
All right. Give me 30 seconds of it.
No, I need a minute and a half. A minute and a half. Come on.
I am going to cut you off after 30 seconds.
Kamala, plucked from the bottom of the jar. Kamala, and yet they tell us she's a star.
I think we get it. Thanks so much for the call, Steve. Appreciate it. We just have so many calls. I can't do a minute and a half song interlude. Let's go to Irene in Sunland. Irene, hello.
Yeah. Yes. Hi. I campaigned for Nathan, and I put up signs, and I was told early on that he was not a Trump Republican. Okay, but he was better than the other person that did win, and I will not be voting for him. I think it's shameful that he did call a convicted felon. That was a kangaroo court. I mean, judge, just what are they going to do to January 6th people or anyone who supports the truth or to save this country? And I would not be voting for him. And keep in mind, even if you vote against Nathan, okay, if you're voting for Harris and that vice president, that tampon Tim, that wants tampons in boys' restrooms, this is a sicko. These are crazy people. And Harris bailed out felons or people that were murdering people that love this country and that wanted no chaos and no murder and mayhem in the streets, like the Black Lives Matter and Antifa. Harris and the other leftist communists bailed them out. And I miss the One American News Network. You just watch it. You learn all about that there. But now I watch the first. And you learn all about the evil, the communists of Harris and this Tim. These are very evil people. They're sickos, and they represent evil, and they're communists. And Nathan, at least some Republicans that didn't like Trump, they're voting for Trump because they see Harris is just wrong. And you're not an American if you vote for them.
Well, there you go, Irene. Thank you so much for the call. Appreciate it. Wow. Let's go to David in Lakewood. David, hello.
First time calling. I'm another one of those. You are the perfect time of day when I'm driving home in this LA traffic. It takes me about an hour to drive home, so I really enjoy my drive listening to you. Just have to say, Hochman can pull this out because Kamala hasn't posted or let anybody know what her policies are. Amazing that she's been running here and not letting anybody know what the policies are. So when she releases them supposedly tomorrow, he could then turn around and say, she just released her policies. I don't agree. I'm pulling my backing of Kamala, and that's the way he can reverse this. But he's in a big bunch of doo-doo here by backing Kamala here. I want to say, I don't know anyone, these people are calling in on your call saying that they're backing Kamala. I don't know how they can do that. She hasn't got a single vote after running for president twice. Not a single vote. No one voted for her. And yet she's going to become running for president here. And no one is looking at her record of when she last ran for president, about how she wants to defund police, open borders, giving free everything to all these illegals, health care, housing, all this stuff. I don't know where we're going to get all this money. And they don't bring up about all the fentanyl coming over, killing our kids, and the trafficking, children trafficking. They've lost over 1 million children coming across the border. They have no idea where they're at. But anyway, I'll let you get on with other callers, but thank you for being on the air. Thank you.
Thank you for calling in, David. Appreciate it. More of your calls coming up next. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on KABC. News Blitz with Randy Wang. Let's go to Chris in Long Beach. Chris, hello.
Yes, hello, Randy. Thanks for your excellent programs. I'm for Nathan Hochman 100%. We've got to stay relevant here, not get distracted by wingnuts calling in. They need to see the Neuropsychiatric Institute at UCLA as far as I'm concerned. But let's go for Hochman and get him in there. He'll be the difference maker. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much for the call. Appreciate it. More of your calls coming up. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on KABC. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on KABC. We're running real short on time, so if I go to you, I've only got about 30 seconds for each call. Let's go to Joe and Hemet. Joe, hello.
Hey, Randy, just want to tell you, if this Nathan Hochman isn't smart enough to know that the case against the great President Trump was made up, how's he ever going to be smart enough to know how to handle a case, a real case? And the thing is, a vote for Kamala Harris, like some of these idiots call in, is a vote against every man and woman that fought for this country, died in our great police force. You're voting against the men and women that gave us freedom. How dare you? You're idiots. Thank you.
Thanks so much for the call. Appreciate it. He did that in 30 seconds. Let's go to Tim in Simi Valley. Tim, hello.
Yeah, hey, Randy. I don't live in L.A. I can't vote for either of them, but I'll send money to Hochman. Where's the sense of self-preservation? The question isn't who does he support or did he say something stupid or whatever. The question is who's going to put people in jail, who's going to do the job. We know that Gascon won't. And this isn't playtime or an opportunity to do to make statements. This is people's lives, their businesses, their homes, their money, their livelihoods. And we got to get Gascon out because we know what he'll do. We know. You got to vote for Hochman.
There you go. Thanks so much for the call. Appreciate it. Let's go to Jay in Playa del Rey. Jay, hello.
Ray. Randy, no question about it. We have to go Hochman. Hochman, Angelino, the whole L.A. County. There's no way we can leave it blank. We need to keep the eyes on the prize, and we need to get Gascon out. That's the bottom line, to get Gascon out. Nothing else matters. After the fact that if he's not working out, we could always recall him. But at the end of the day, we need to get Gascon out. That's what we're trying to do. That's the whole point of this. And he's been on your show plenty of times. We heard him speak. He speaks a real good one. He tells us that he's going to get rid of all his agenda, move on to his agenda, which we heard him. He says, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I'm going to lock up everybody up and hold up, have law and order. And if he doesn't do it, guess what? We recall him. But in the meantime, eyes on the prize, LA County, we need to get him out. We need to get Gascon out, and that's the bottom line. That's all I got to say, Randy. Thank you, Randy. Love your
Thank
show.
you so much for the call, Jay. Appreciate it. Last call, you got 30 seconds. Tom in L.A. Tom, hello.
Yeah, hi, Randy. I agree with those last two callers and a lot of the other ones. I know that what Caruso backtracked or, backflipped and everything, lost the election. Wouldn't we be better off with him than what we have now? I mean, it's ridiculous that this, and then what the other caller said about Hochman talking about Trump being a felon. Really? I mean, and he's going to be their DA, but he's got to be better than Cass. Anything's better than Kermit. So that's my.
Well, I appreciate that, Tom.
Quite frankly.
Right.
Thanks so much for the calls. It was a lively debate. There are a lot of very strong opinions on this subject. I'm sure we will revisit it as we do because this is the most important race in LA County and the election is coming up soon. Thank y'all so much. Tomorrow is Happy Hour. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on KABC.